Yo, hey, listen. This anime parlay. We got a little caught off guard there. It is what it is. It's your
What's up?
boys, Killer Cam. I'll let the rest of the crew introduce themselves. It's very
What
hot.
up, y'all? Wild and free here.
Hey, it's your boy Bash Ketchum, man. Let's go.
Okay. You don't need to know where I live, but it is very hot. You can see the sweat glistening off my forehead. It is what it is. We're
I think
talking.
he lives in Zimbabwe or some shit.
Yeah, it's definitely somewhere in the Congo for sure. But anyway, so 11:58. What is there to really say? I mean, it's kind of funny because like you guys watching this, we also watch, or at least I mean, you guys tell me if I'm right or if I'm wrong. I definitely do, but like we also watch YouTubers and their reviews of the chapter, like just because we find them interesting, and obviously, shout out Grand Line Review. He does good work. And I definitely feel like everybody is kind of struggling to like make content off of this. Like there are things to talk about for sure. They're just
Yeah.
not that interesting. It's like, okay, all right, like we have gotten 8 chapters or something crazy like that into this flashback that was supposed to be about basically Loki and him getting blamed for Harald's death, and now we have gotten so many layers deep into this. And I think at a certain point, particularly with Rocks, there was this kind of inkling that, oh, maybe we'll see God's Valley, like maybe we'll get to see what really happened there. One, I don't know if we need it. I'm just gonna say that outright.
Yeah.
Two, like the way in which we're getting there, like it feels like, excuse the crassness of this, but I just gotta say it the way that it is. It feels like Oda is just blowing his load early right now. It's like, dude, you set us up. We were getting Loki and basically what happened with Harold. Then it's like, oh, now you're getting rocks. It's like, okay, all right, cool, we're getting rocks. Then it's like, okay, we're getting rocks and Emu. Oh, okay, all right. Now we're getting like Shakky and Roger and Whitebeard and the Rocks Pirates and Hachinosu. And also, it's like, dude, like, what is happening?
Yeah.
Like Shanks and Shamrock and like God's Valley. It's like, dude, like, there is a lot going on here. And I'm not necessarily mad at it, but also at the same time, like my ticket says basically Luffy versus Ibu. That's what my ticket says. That's what I'm trying to get to, and we are like way off course right now. So I'm hoping we can kind of reel things back. We can get out of this flashback. I'm hoping that it's worth it, specifically with all this like kind of shocky stuff. Like I know people said, "Oh, it's Helen of Troy," but I don't really care. I mean, we know how her story ends. She ends up with Rayleigh. Not
Basically.
like you know what I mean. Like it's not that interesting.
Right.
It is what it is. Like I
Cool
don't.
guy.
Like I don't really
Yeah.
know what you could really kind of show that's like, oh man, like that's crazy how they met. Like I really wanted to
Yeah.
know that. It's like
Yeah.
I
I don't
agree.
care. I do not care. It's fine. All right, what are you guys' thoughts?
That was literally one of the main things that came to mind for me was
Mm.
like, all right, we know Shaki's beautiful, but did we really need this much backstory on her right now? Like, I mean, it really feels like
It's
the
been
show
three
or the
chapters.
manga turned into old piece. We're now just following the old story of, the One
Right.
Piece, storyline. And it just kind of feels like we're almost in like an arc in and of itself within the flashback.
Mm.
And there's like this these traditional moments of fellowship and camaraderie and like downtime moments that you would otherwise have within an arc for the main characters, but like now we're doing it with like the older era pirates, and it's like, okay, well,
Yeah,
how much of that do we actually need?
I wish
I
we could
mean,
see that with
if
the
it was like
crew.
a
I mean, that'd be
full
really nice.
spin-off, you see what I'm saying? Like if this was like, just for an example, like how My Hero Academia has My Hero Academia Vigilantes, right?
Mm.
Like if it was the spin-off and we were getting all of this, perfect. That's amazing. I would love
Right.
that.
Mm.
But right now, within the context of where we are within One Piece, it does feel a bit bloated. And more specifically, the reason why I feel that way is because some of these moments are just downright adorable, and that's it. Right? Like there's like I don't really feel like there's anything beyond that that could really lead to any significant plot lines for the
Yeah,
future. Right? Like, okay, cool. Um Rox and Harold broke up. Okay. That's probably significant enough. It's probably something that we could have already inferred
mm.
a little bit to some degree based on how things ended. But there's just a lot of fluffy moments along the course of these flashbacks right now that just doesn't really feel like it's pertinent to the future of One Piece and like what's currently happening.
Dude, I'm just gonna say this now, and
Sure.
Bash, I want to get your thoughts as well. I feel like it is, and again, I'm gonna trust Oda, but right now, the way things are going, it is gonna be so jarring when we get back into the main story from like all of this like super long flashback where like we just spent 3 chapters. That's about 6 weeks with basically just gooning over Shakky. You get what I'm saying? Like, we get it. She's hot. We get it.
Yeah.
Everybody likes her. We get it. Like, I mean, the new information we got was Roger likes her. She likes Rayleigh. Roger's a little miffed. He gets over it. And basically, like, Rock's moved on. He's got some other boo or something like that who we don't know. Okay. We knew that. We knew that.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, Bash, what are your thoughts?
Man, I'm not really usually one to be on the downside of things here, but man, I hated the chapter. I thought it was trash. Like, what are we really doing here? Like, let's get to something actually that's progressive or, conducive to the storyline, like you guys have said already. Like, we've been gooning over Shakky for 3 chapters. Like, okay, great. Like, no offense to any of you people out there that like hentai and all that kind of stuff, man, but I enjoy real pussy, preferably my wife. So,
That's
I mean, I'm cool with all this artwork and shit like that. Like, I'm off all that, but I might like this chapter better when it gets animated. So, maybe some of the fight scenes from the Rocks and Harald fight would be cool to watch. But other than that, there wasn't much going on here. And didn't we already know about Shanks and Shamrock?
Yeah, technically.
I mean,
well,
the only thing we got
there was a lot that could.
we got
be
revealed that like they have a normal human mom, and that more than likely they were just taken, or at least Shamrock was taken at birth by Figurlin Garling, right? Because he's also revealed in the anime to have blonde hair, so they're not children of celestial dragons, right? They are basically just like, which is also weird. They just kind of stole kids.
Not necessarily. I think that what I got from this chapter was that he's, soiled his royal oats or whatever it was, and like he just kind of kept moving. You know what I'm saying? Like he went back to Mary Joie and was like, "Hey, there's this spot that I think would be great for the next games. It's called God Valley. I was just there. We should definitely murder all those people. But." He kind of visited in passing. He might have laid it down and just kept it moving, and then boom, there go his 2 kids. And I do think that.
So what you're saying is Garling
yeah.
lays the pipe. Is what
the
you're
pipe.
trying to say.
He lays the pipe.
He's
while
extremely
moving
fertile.
from town
Is what
to
you're trying
town.
to say.
He's extremely
He's a rolling stone.
not-
Is what you're trying to
He's
say.
a rolling stone. He's not opposed to handling business here and there as he goes and figures out which town he wants to murder.
Yeah, he likes
So
his steak raw. Is what you're trying to say.
Basically.
Yeah.
But that's and even that was like, how much of confirmation did we need on that? And I mean, one, we didn't really get a confirmation even, right? Like that's still an implied truth that we had to put together here, right? So it wasn't even something that was very concrete to say like, oh, Figurlin Garling is actually in fact Shanks and Shamrock's true father. It's something that we had to piece together. And so because of that, it's also like, well,
I mean, that still has to be confirmed.
How full is that? Yeah. It does still have to be confirmed. So it's still up in the air.
Yeah. One more thing too is like, and again, I'm not going to say the same thing about cover stories. I've said it. You guys know what I'm going to say. But I am like, everyone was kind of like losing their minds over, oh my God, like, Moria is technically like from Wano because Kazuki Moria, the little grave or whatever. It's like, guys, just wait until Oda said something about it, because that's obviously not clear. Why? Because again, Kozuki Moria, the surname is Kozuki. Gecko Moria, the surname is Gecko. You have to use headcanon now to basically say, oh well, he took his mom's name, or like maybe he changed his name, and like that's how that worked. It's like, just wait for more information. We see something weird. Kazuki Moria, that's odd. Like, we know a Moria. He definitely is not from Wano, or at least as far as we know. Like, my issue with this, sorry to get, ramped up. I'm getting riled up.
It's the no AC, man.
Oda's
Right.
been doing this thing lately where he basically just forgets stuff or like just thinks, oh, it'd be interesting if this was also a part of the story. Doesn't actually present it where it is most relevant in the arc. He basically just adds it in later via a cover story or even worse, an SBS. I am getting so bothered by that. It's like, because it's kind of sloppy, to be honest. And he didn't used to do this. Like, I love Oda, but like his right. Yeah, like technical difficulties, weird. We're going to edit it. It's fine, whatever. These SBS things where like Oda just kind of like throws in useful information that would have been infinitely more useful in the actual arc. Like, it's just weird. It's annoying. It's sloppy writing. He didn't always used to do this. Like, I would argue that like pre-time skip, the writing was pretty tight. There wasn't these kind of like pickup kind of like lore drops where he just throws it into a cover story, which is also fine because it's still canon. Or again, worse, throws it into an SBS. But I don't know. I just feel like this SBS reveal stuff is just getting sloppier and sloppier. And like specifically, we got it with like, I remember it was like the reveal that like Zoro's actually like a member of the Shimotsuki clan or whatever that was like delivered through an SBS. It's just like, dude, like, what are we doing? Stop doing that. Like, plan what you're like.
Stop, dude. In Oda's defense, it's a lot. There's a lot more story post time skip and many more characters post time skip versus pre time skip. So it was easier to get those things in there before then because it was a lot more condensed.
Yeah.
Versus now we're getting all of this. So
yeah, my argument
in
against
defense.
that would be Zoro's like, I mean, Zoro's the secret main character.
Yeah,
That's something that should come up in the Wano arc. There's no excuse for that, right? Like, this is your guy. This is your baby. That kind of information should be plotted out. It shouldn't just be like, we're just throwing that out, right? That's one. Two, we didn't need to know that Moria, who basically has disappeared from the story, sort of. He's like kind of out around somewhere. We don't really know where. He's probably going to join Cross Guild, but like we don't know exactly where he's at. We just know he's alive somewhere.
right.
We didn't need to know that he was, again, we're now 2 arcs removed from Wano. That like maybe he's sort of related to the Kozuki in some way, which by the way is a very big deal. Like Kozuki Oden, like that is a pretty noble family. Why is Mori of all people connected to this like noble clan that like has run Wano for like centuries and like has something to do with like the poneglyphs and just all this kind of stuff? It's like Wano's a really important place. Like effectively houses Pluton, and we're just adding in that Gecko Mori is attached to them somehow, possibly. Why are we doing that? It doesn't make any sense. And maybe it'll be revealed, but I just don't think it's going to be worthwhile because these SBS lore drops never are. You kind of need to see them in the actual story. When it just gets thrown out, it has so much less impact.
Yeah.
I don't know. What are you guys' thoughts?
Yeah, I didn't lead into it too much. Like I saw the name, and I was like, oh, that's interesting. And then I just kind of kept moving on. To your point, right? Like we don't have enough information there to like really go at it too much. I mean, what I will say is that I do think that the moment when Kaido and Moria clashed, they were on Wano, and I guess that's some significant context. But
Were they on Wano?
I'm like, if I'm not mistaken, it was in the snowy countryside in Wano.
Who clashed?
When it was like a
Kaido,
very, very brief flashback of Kaido and Moria clashing, and I guess that was like Moria's downfall.
Yeah, he
which
gets
is like
beat by
when-
Kaido and it basically just ruins his life.
basically. Yeah. And he was using the sword, and it's like, okay, that's interesting. And so, is there something to grasp at? Possibly, but
Oh yeah, it was
also
in
I'm
Ringo
just like,
of Wano.
right. So I'm like, okay,
That's
that's
weird.
kind of interesting, but I don't have enough information to go off of right now to even want to care about that. And also, everything else that's going on in the chapter, like to the point that you were making before, is like, all right, in my mind, my ticket is for like Luffy versus freaking Emu, right? And
Yeah.
we are so far removed from that. Now you're throwing these things in about Gecko Moria when he's significantly more removed from my mind in the story
Yeah.
right now. I'm just like, I don't want to have to think about him right now. Can we just get back to where we're at? Like, it does feel a little bit
Sure.
like, you know, you're talking to somebody, they're trying to give you this really great story, but they keep going off on tangents. It's like, okay, that's fine and all, but just get back to the point real quick so I can actually, you know, find that through line from where we were. And so that's why I'm like, whatever about the cover story. If we get more context and it is confirmed, amazing, sure, that's great. But otherwise, I'm like, that's cool.
Well, that's the thing. I mean,
Yeah.
Sorry, just because I just had to like look that up because I was like, I completely forgot about that. It's still one of those things where it's like, dude, just say the thing then. Because
Right,
now,
yeah, exactly.
Say the thing then.
nah, for real. Because it's like now it's like, okay, so you're saying Kazuki Moria. So somebody named Kazuki Moria died, right? And for whatever reason, Yamato is honoring them. I wish we could have seen them in a flashback. That would be nice, but we didn't. And we know that Kaido fought Moria for some reason in Wano. Okay, guess who else fought in Wano that aren't from Wano? Roger and Whitebeard. Odin and Whitebeard. I mean, obviously Odin is from Wano, but like the point being is like people, it's still one of those things where it's like just because you're there doesn't necessarily mean that you're from there. And now you're kind of adding in this other kind of question, like in the relation. It's so unnecessary. So
same thing as like God Valley. Like there's been a bunch of people clashing from there, but none of them were from God Valley, you know?
Yeah. I mean, the name, again, it's just the Kazuki name is just such a hollowed name. It's just, why would you add in an extra relation in there? Like to an existing character that is kind of out of the story. It just doesn't make any sense. But sorry, Bash, go ahead.
Yeah.
Dude.
No, I completely agree with both of you. I mean, this cover story has to go somewhere, and we're following Yamato in this cover story. She obviously, he or she never became a Straw Hat, so I guess that's Oda's way of keeping her in the story is we're getting her story through these cover stories, which is, I guess some of it's cool.
I mean, unless you're going to reveal that like
care.
Kazuki, or not Kazuki, unless you're going to say that, oh, Gekko Moria is there, he's like healing and nursing up or something, which would again be odd. I don't know what the point of that is, and even this whole cover story, which has been going on for a while, I would think that the story would be Yamato figuring out who they are. You know what I'm saying? Like
recognize their own name,
figuring out their own story. You know what I mean? I'm not going to get into the whole identity thing, but like just figuring out, what does Yamato want, right? Clearly, she wants to go out to sea. Like, just kind of reliving Odin. I mean, maybe that'll be the end of it. Like, she did the Odin thing. Now she wants to be herself. Maybe that's the whole thing. It's taking too long, to be honest. But yeah, whatever. I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know where it's going either, as far as the whole cover story goes. But I'm also getting tired of like the flashbacks within the flashbacks. It's like an Inception, like Leonardo DiCaprio movie, but it's just getting to be too much here. Like what I want to see is from these next few chapters is like what this arc of Elbaf is and should be about. Like the main character of the arc is Loki, so we're getting flashbacks from Loki as a kid, but like what's so significant? Like I get that he shows so much admiration towards Rox versus his dad, and then we get the clash and the ending of the friendship between his dad and Rox. But like, let's just get to the point of why he's following Rox and so admired by him, and what is going to be the actual point of this flashback that we're going to see from Loki that will take us then to the current time.
I mean, that's a solid point because we're really not getting a lot of interaction between Loki and Rox. That's actually kind of frustrating a little bit, since that's like such an aspect of Loki's character. I mean, this is like we're in a Loki flashback and getting so little of Loki. Like, I'm gonna be honest, Loki's very one note. I like Loki. I love his design. He's extremely one note right now. I mean, we have a contextual background of like, oh, you know, he was mistreated or whatever as a kid because of his eyes, blah, blah, whatever, right? But he's so one note where he's just an asshole. Like, can we get something else? Can we get some kind of interaction with him and Rox? Like, and even the Rox Harald thing, which took up like, you know, not too much of the chapter, but a couple pages in the chapter.
3 pages. Yeah.
I was hoping that would be more interesting. It just kind of happens. It's like, okay, so let me get this straight. Harald is an upstanding guy that is really just looking out for his countrymen. He learned to be humble from Ida and to carry himself with dignity, but this is the same guy that will turn on his friend and literally try to kill him. Like, let's say that he doesn't even consider Rox a friend, which obviously he does to some degree. Let's say he looks at him as an acquaintance. You're
I
telling
don't know
me
if they
that,
try to kill each other.
like, Harald at this point, like, because we get the last chapter, which is the world government says, if you want in, you got to kill Rox. Rox brings it up, and he's like, dude, you're really just going to follow the world government? Really? That's what you're attacking me for? Whatever. And Harald's like, yeah, like, you're a scoundrel, like, da-da-da-da, like, I have to put my people first, whatever, right? Harald making that decision is very, like, out of character. Like, so let me get this straight.
Yeah.
You're
But did he actually try to kill him though? Like, I don't think he's.
I mean, they're fighting with, like, advanced Kakurasaki. I mean, it led to them falling out. I assume that they're fighting seriously. Maybe they just couldn't take each other out, but, like, that ended their friendship. So it's like, he's taking the fight seriously, whether he's trying to kill him or not. And it's like, I think we needed to see Harald, just give us a moment where Harold's thinking about it. Like, jumping right into the fight, it's like, now I'm looking at Harald like, okay, you actually are kind of a piece of shit then. You're actually, like, going to take the world government, who's, like, clearly evil, you've seen the evil they do, at their word, and, like, try to attack your friend, or at least someone who's friendly towards you?
Mm-hmm.
Like,
it's
just weird. I don't know. It's just, like,
and so,
weird character choices and decisions from
I
Oda.
agree. However, I think that the silver lining that I am holding on to is the fact that the Holy Knights and Mary Joie felt betrayed by Harald, right? And so, in my mind, I know at the end of this flashback, we're going to get to that point where Harald does something that pisses them off, which is counter to what they might have been agreeing to, right? And so, it's likely this fight. And I think that although they fought and were fighting seriously and their friendship ended, I think it might have ultimately, and we'll likely see this in the next chapter, but, it likely ended in such a way that Harald never pursued Rox to really put an end to him, right? And just allowed him to kind of go off and be a deterrent or a problem for the world government. And so, yeah, I agree that there was a shitty moment from Harald. I could understand why Oda would put him in that position as king of Elbaf and for everything that he's been fighting for up until this point. Like, you have to keep in mind, like, he has Loki. He's got his, not wife, but second baby mama since his first wife died, right? But, like, he has, like, family and, like, a whole country to look after, and he does have a sense of duty towards them greater than his allegiance to Rox, who is, a pirate. And we have seen them, even in their friendship, we have seen Harald take a staunch position against some of his perspectives on what he's setting out to do. He's like, I don't think that's the best idea, or like, you don't have to go at it that way, right? So there's been moments of, it wasn't clear contention, like they were, like, arguing it out, but there are moments where Harald is staunchly like, oh no, like, this is my perspective on the matter. I don't really think you should go about it that way, or this is how I'm going to see it. And it just kind of resolves as like, whatever. Like, they kind of talk, they still drank, they, parlay for a bit. And so to that point, I do think, I agree with your sentiment that maybe from Harald's perspective, he saw them more as acquaintances than anything else. I think Rox might have, seen genuine friendship forming there. And if that is the case, it does feel very reminiscent and true to a typical villain story arc, right? Where you have a villain who feels betrayed by someone they thought were their genuine friend. So yeah, I could see how that could unfold. I'm not mad at Harald because I didn't really have great expectations for Harald, Like, I knew he did something that caused calamity for Elbaf and pissed off Mary Joie, but I never put Harald in such regard that made me feel let down by his actions.
Yeah, I mean, one note on what you said, I don't think this is the thing that Harald let down or betrayed the world government on. because he's still got to rip his horns out. I honestly feel like that thing is probably going to be some kind of agreement to enlist basically the young, basically giants into an army for the world government. I think that is going to be where Harald puts his foot down, because that's obviously the opposite of what he wants. He wants to humanize the giants. I don't think he wants them to be used for purposes of war, because that, he's trying to get away from this villainous, and they kind of reiterated within this chapter of people being afraid of giants. They view them as violent, or obviously they have a history of violence, or dangerous. So I think that there's probably going to be a moment where he's like, okay, whatever it takes to join the world government. They say it's going to be fine. Something happens, and then he's like, okay, I'm reneging on the deal. I'm not going to do it to my own people. Like, I think that is going to happen. And then obviously, like, as soon as he rejects them, that's probably when Emu gets involved and takes him over or whatever. But the point being is, like, I do think that that will probably be what is the thing that Harald turns his back on. I think it is going to be involving, like, the future, the future of the Giants in relation to how they will interact or be in service to the world government. But yeah, I don't know. It's just one of those kind of things, man, where, like, I understand Oda has, like, a plan for the plotting. I think everyone is kind of feeling like, where is this going? Right? And I think that's a fair sentiment just because of where we started. I think Oda will land the plane and get us there. But I do think that when we look back at this, because I can already see it now, but I think when we look back at this flashback, there's going to be a lot of fluff, personally. There's going to be a lot of stuff we didn't need. I think a lot of this is really just a showcase for, like, look at how the old generation was. Look at how they talk to each other and what they look like and all that kind of stuff. And it's like, yeah, but, like, do we really need that? Like, I mean, the character designs are cool. I feel like we're seeing a little too much of Roger, to be honest. Like, he's kind of losing his mystique a little bit, but...
Interesting point.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
I feel like it might be better when it gets animated to see the older golden era of Pirates, but, like, just reading it through and seeing the panels is just not that cool.
I mean, I don't know. Like, I think it's cool. It's just misplaced, right? Like, if we were intentional about this to the point of it being like how we got, say, Punk Hazard, like a mini arc, right? Dedicated to a specific unfolding, or like Zoe, right? Something like that. Like, if we were intentionally, like, doing a flashback, which might have been, like, classified as, like, the first real filler arc of One Piece. But, I mean, people look at Skypiea that way and look how much weight that has held in retrospect, right? Like, I think that if it was given its own stage, its own platform to kind of stand on, I feel like we would love this a lot. It's just the fact that we are heavily invested in, like, Emu is destroying Elbaf right now. Luffy's got to get up there. This is a major fight.
They haven't even met yet. Luffy has no idea Emu exists. It's like,
there's so many
things going on.
Yeah.
And so that's the reason why these flashbacks are feeling as painstaking as
you would
are.
think
They
this
could have been excellent.
Right.
You would think this is like
right.
the last arc of One Piece, or like the second to last, the way that we're getting all of these lore drops. And let's just be honest. What is Oda setting us up for? He's setting us up for a reenactment of God Valley, which we kind of saw at least a little bit of through the Kuma flashback, which was just an arc ago. Now we're going right back in to get, like, oh, let's see the other side. Like, I'm fairly positive here's what we're going to get. We're going to see Kuma. Like, just, maybe in the background, we'll just kind of get a nod that he's there. Obviously, we're going to see more or less what happens with Rocks and what sparks basically Garp and Roger teaming up. We'll probably get maybe Blackbeard in some way, shape, or form, because I think he's older than Shanks. I think we will see a younger Blackbeard that, like, has to watch his dad die tragically or something like that. The way that Rocks is being portrayed, like, I almost want to say, like, he dies tragically. The way that he's being set up, he's being set up, like, to be endearing.
Yeah.
So, something happens, right, at God's Valley. Maybe it is, I really am getting kind of tired of this, but maybe it's like an Emu kind of reversey that, like, takes over Rocks in some way, because we know the God's Knights are involved. And basically Garp and Roger have to team up to take down Rocks. And then, because there's Oda was asked to draw all the supernovas as like kids, and he drew specifically Blackbeard, and he's like basically in a crouched position holding his knees and he's crying. So basically the implication is that he's had this like sad childhood, and I want to say we see it in flashbacks as well. I would argue that is because he saw or like basically knows that his dad died like in an unjust way. You get what I'm saying? And again, the way that Rox is being portrayed, he's being portrayed as sympathetic. He's obviously he loves Shakky or whatever, just like everybody else. But like in this particular chapter, he's like chosen some other woman that he values above Shakky, which is like no other guy has done that, which is supposed to illustrate that like Rox is unique, right? He really like holds this particular woman in esteem. We know that it's going to be Blackbeard's mom. And that's supposed to be endearing. That like even though everybody's gooning over Shakky, he's found like his own girl that he really likes and, won't betray her because, like he views her as this is my special girl and, forget Shakky. So I do think that Rox, the way that he's being portrayed, particularly since he's on the right side of history in relation to his fight with Harald, I think his death is going to be tragic. And I do think that it's going to send us for a surprise in a twist in the sense of, like I said, it's going to be a tragic death, and I think we're meant to sympathize with Rox. That's just my guess.
For sure. I see it.
Yeah, I could see that. I would say the thing about Rox and I don't know, like the sympathy that I'm feeling for him, it's like anti-hero-ish, right? Like Venom, I guess, in a way, right? Like when you think about how Venom is within the Marvel story, it's like kind of villainous, in a lot of ways. But then there's also like moments that are endearing to the character and like aspects where they are on the right side of history, as you say. The thing is, I just don't. Did we need this much to convey it to get to that point? Again, like in my mind, like, and you brought up the Kuma backstory as well, and how that just highlighted God Valley. I think that could have really been the beautiful bridge there, right? Like, imagine if before we got to Elbaf, as they're riding to Elbaf, we get a God Valley arc, right? That actually shows everything from, Kuma's side of it now into the pirate side of it. Yeah. Then we get this flashback. Everything could have been very neatly done and within a space where the context was well-deserved, right? Where it didn't feel like you have something else on the fire. You got another skillet on the fire, and it's heating up, and we need to pay attention to that, but you're over here boiling eggs, for this other scenario. So, it's just a timing thing.
Yeah, I mean, it completely interrupts and cuts the action, right? I mean, we are in a long flashback prior to Luffy meeting up against potentially the final antagonist of the series. You get what I'm saying? So it is one of those things to your point where it's like, we ordered a Loki flashback and are now getting like a God's Valley reenactment. You know what I mean? Like that's where we went with this. So we are sort of kind of like, because again, I'm going to say sort of kind of because I don't know how Oda's going to land this, but we are way off track. Way off track. And
and the God's Valley context only just came in the last page of this last chapter. The whole beginning of this chapter and the two chapters before that, we still didn't really have context about what the flashback was really intended to show us, because it kept jumping like, first the flashback was about Loki, then it was about Harald, then it was about Rox, then it was about all of these things. And so hopefully now with God Valley in view, like we can more definitively say that, okay, this flashback is meant to show us the other side of the God Valley incident. But even if that is the case, what a roundabout way to take.
It's time to tie it all together. Let's get back to the current.
I mean, and even Rox is, within the context of this arc, meant to be a contextual, like, kind of story piece for Loki's character, right? It's supposed to kind of demonstrate and make us understand who Loki is and why Loki is the way that he is and who is the chief influence on Loki. And we are getting so far away from that. I mean, it's basically kind of like the Rock show, sort of. And now it's like the Shakky show. And I don't know, maybe it's going to be the Garling show in like 2 seconds. I don't really know. But, I don't know. I mean, thankfully, we don't have a break next week. It looks like Oda's back on his regular schedule, so maybe we'll get 3 chapters a month again. I don't know. But yeah, we got to get this thing moving. And I think when we joked about this on our group chat, but like when you start seeing videos pop up that are like, Elbaf isn't boring or the flashback of God's Valley isn't boring, it's like, okay, all right, you're kind of saying the quiet part out loud. You're speaking to the subconscious. So yeah, but I don't know. Do you guys have any final thoughts?
Not really.
Okay.
Kind of 11:58 it out.
Oh, yeah, no worries, bro. I feel that. Hey, listen, you're not alone. All right. I mean, that's it. Like I said, we got a chapter next week. That should be interesting to discuss. Hopefully we get. I just hope Oda's speed runs through this God Valley. I mean, there are certain parts that we know. I'm almost positive we won't. I think we're going to be in it for a little while. Yeah. I mean, it is what it is. Just gotta just hold on to our butts and just kind of grin and bear it. Yeah. What do you guys? Final thoughts?
Last
Send-offs?
Yeah, Shakky's bad, but she don't deserve this much attention.
It's crazy, bro. It's crazy.
And typical like the whole moment with the Rocks thing where it's like all of a sudden she's kind of jealous that his smile is not for her anymore. It's like I plead the fifth, but y'all feel where I'm coming from with that.
No,
it's just like one of those moments.
Yeah.
Overall, I'm just let's get to the meat of this chapter or this arc. Really, I would love to see what's happening with Emu and Luffy.
We gotta get back to that.
Yeah. For sure. I just want to say, man, thank you if you're even watching this. Thank you to all of our viewers, man. Thank you to anyone who comments, even if you put a hate comment on there, man. Thank you to the 91 subscribers we have, man. We're really rocking the show, man. But if you made it this far, drop us a sub too or a like, man. We're doing this for fun. We're not making no money, man. We're just doing it for fun.
Yet.
No. Yes.
Yet.
When we do, you'll know because it's going to be a lot of ad reads. We're just going to just rip it with ad reads. We'll try to make it fun. Okay.
Quickly from a word from our sponsor.
Yeah. We'll do like really terribly clunky transitions and tell you about Raid Shadow Legends and shit like that.
Raid Shadow
Hopefully
Legends.
not.
I know. BetterHelp. It'll be BetterHelp.
BetterHelp. We gotta bleep these names out.
I know. Yeah.
They don't get the name.
Do not use their services until they pay us. We are not advertising them or promoting them. We are de-promoting them. Okay. Anyways, it's your boys, the Anime Parley. We'll keep talking about stuff. If you guys have suggestions, this is another thing. If you guys have suggestions of anime that you want us to talk about, you want to hear our hot, spicy, muy caliente takes on. If it's a good anime, we'll actually watch it if we haven't watched it already, and we'll talk about it. We're thinking about, maybe Bleach 1000 Year Blood Work comes back, maybe Jujutsu Kaisen season 3 is incoming. We talked Hunter for sure.
Might be coming back.
We talked about
Naruto movie about to drop.
Yeah, we talked about Naruto, but it's like, and that's a different conversation. But I don't know. I love Naruto, but it's kind of out of the zeitgeist, and I don't think it's coming back. So I don't know.
Yeah, I kind of agree. I heard that they were doing a remake movie or whole series, something. I don't know if they're actually going to do it until I actually see the episodes on Crunchyroll or something like that. Yeah. I'm like, I'm not going to believe it. But
I just think it's done and it had its time, and it obviously like introduced a lot of people to anime. And it's like a classic, ninja anime, shonen, and that's amazing, and it's super iconic, but it's just not as relevant, and it just is what it is. Okay. Anyways, we'll think on that. Drop us some comments if you got any suggestions. But until next time. Peace.